Hello, and welcome back to Shippy and Grubes. I'm Shippy, and I just shocked
Grubes. That's me.
That is Grubes. We're on episode number 10. We appreciate you joining us. 10.
Double digits,
We've hit double digits, dude. We're 6 episodes away from being able to drive.
Hell yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
11 away from being able to drink.
Dang. Can't
which
wait.
You don't do anymore, which we'll get to
we
in a bit.
will. That is a fantastic
I'm a pro.
tease, Grubes. We will get to that later. We have a whole drinking segment that we're going to get to later, both the pros and cons of it, and maybe the most interesting vehicle to have ever experienced a DWI in.
It's very unusual.
It's very unusual, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Something that's not unusual is the Dallas Cowboys losing at home.
Brutal.
We're not going to break down the game, but I did want to show this because I found this.
Oh, hi. My dog just got in.
Hey, Ponyo.
Even though we have a gate.
Special guest, Ponyo, is in the building. Hello.
I'll be right back.
Ponyo is our fact checker. The clubhouse has a fact checker. We'll get to the Smoky Rose remote that we did on Friday, where we all learned kind of about each other's shows. We're all busy people. We don't have time to tune into every single second of every single episode, so it was really nice to get to know everybody. And one of my main takeaways was that the clubhouse is rich enough that they have a fact checker. And we don't have a fact checker because we don't need it. We are very factually accurate.
We know everything.
We know everything. And yeah, that's we'll get to the Smoky Rose remote here in just a second. Our fact checker has left the building. And I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because, the Cowboys lost. I think 47-9 was the final score.
Yes.
We'll get into some of the bits that the Lions did here in just a second. But I saw this on Twitter.com, which I've
heard of that website.
It still shows up as Twitter.com, which is weird. It's the Detroit Lions, and they're quoting AT&T Stadium's tweet announcing that 93,644 fans went and watched the Dallas Cowboys get their ass beat.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. What's more impressive is what the Detroit Lions quote retweeted and said here, where they put the little emoji with the monocle, and he's like,
Uh-oh.
They put one of those and says, "Is it us or is the scoreboard a little blurry?"
Is it really?
So now you can direct your attention to my screen that I think I'm sharing, and look.
No way.
AT&T Stadium, they went the North Korea route, and they blurred out the score. Like 93,000 fans just didn't watch them. I mean, they're probably down about 40,000 fans, I bet.
Yeah.
There were some people at the Stars game afterwards that, they said we left at halftime.
Right.
They're like, maybe early in the third quarter.
I was going to say, you pretty much could have left early in the second quarter the way it was going.
It was bad. And so I had to work the Stars game, so...
Oh, you had to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. It was a blessing in disguise,
Oh.
which actually, I would choose if I didn't work for either team, or I would always pick the Stars, honestly.
I would too.
They have a GM that knows what they're doing, one back-to-back GM of the year.
And he's not the owner.
He's not the owner, which that may play a part in it.
Huh.
Has anybody wondered when Jerry, the owner, will fire Jerry, the GM?
No one has said that.
Nobody said it. So you can comment on our Patreon, Sunset Lounge, if you agree that he should fire himself.
We'll put up a poll.
And
God, they really did blur it.
They blurred it out.
Like they couldn't. They had to have been able to. They had to have been taking pictures of the crowd at different times throughout the game, where even if it was like right before or right as the game was starting, but just wait to maybe when they're in a commercial or when they're in a timeout, like.
They blurred both sides of the Jumbotron, too. Like, they went in and, they're like, okay, we got to clean this up.
They got the little scrub tool. And
everybody knows what happened.
Right.
We all, maybe we don't know the extent of the damage. Yeah. Maybe people started drinking, or maybe they were UT fans. They wanted to continue celebrating and, celebrate the team that didn't disappoint them this weekend. But, I thought that was a little bit of an interesting note that AT&T Stadium, the account, blurred out the score of the game, and the Lions... The fact that they're petty enough to go find it and point it out,
right,
makes me kind of like the Lions, honestly.
I respect it. Like, I do wonder if, a Lions fan probably noticed and, maybe given a little bit benefit of the doubt where it's like, look, the score regardless doesn't matter. Like, that's not part of the thing. So even if the score was better, maybe they wouldn't have. They would have blurred it anyway.
But
I don't know,
if it was 47-9 the other way, they would not have
Be
blurred
like,
it.
oh yeah, we forgot to blur it.
Oh yeah, we got 93,000 people that
Yeah.
got to watch that game.
Oh,
Come
my
buy
God.
tickets. 1-800-GO-COWBOYS or whatever their phone
Is that
number.
the number?
No,
It
I don't
probably
know.
is.
I just know it's 214-GO-STARS. I think for the
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think it might be the same for the Mavericks.
That makes sense. Go Mavs.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
It
Go
fits.
Mavs. Yeah.
Or does it? No, it doesn't. 7 whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What does matter is that the Cowboys suck again.
God almighty,
And
that was
it's-
bad.
And speaking of pettiness, actually, I didn't realize this until after the game. So obviously the head coach is Dan Campbell. Used to play tight end for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
His name was linked to the Cowboys for a long time. Before I think he took over was he the Dolphins head coach? I think
He was, yeah.
for just a little bit. He took over for God, who's that guy? I think it was another former Cowboys coach. Anyways,
I don't know.
a former player. I didn't realize their defensive coordinator was Aaron Glenn,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
former cornerback for the Cowboys. So they were just having a grand old time.
Sure were.
And we're gonna go now to 4:40 left in the fourth quarter. The score is 47-9. The Lions are in field goal range. It's 4th and 3. And instead of kicking the field goal, which was very makeable, they decided to do this, which I'm not sure is better or worse than just taking the 3 points and putting up a 50 burger.
I'll tag along with you, KB.
You know what? I'm glad you will. Believe it or not, Dan Skipper is split out as a wide receiver at the top of your screen right now. Hooker's looking for him.
So yeah, so they're just doing bits out there, and
They're just splitting out offensive linemen. There was
Yeah.
another play where they threw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown on like a little, I don't know if it was like a hook route or a screen, but he caught the ball and then they ran like a planned like lateral to an offensive lineman, and I think I couldn't tell if he was down or not, but I think a flag brought it back.
I believe so. Yeah,
But they almost had a thick 6 on us.
that's kind of
That,
awesome.
That wasn't a fumble recovery or like just some fluke play.
Yeah, like they were running up the score, and I think it did cost them a little bit. Where Aiden Hutchinson, I guess, was still in the game.
Oh yeah,
We don't need to talk about that too much, but
that sucks.
it definitely felt personal that the Lions just kept scoring on our asses. But it's also like, hey, stop them.
Yeah, I mean it's like
That's what
it's like pimping a home run or
Right.
something. Like if you
Like-
don't want that to happen,
Strike them out.
don't
or,
put yourself
yeah.
in the position where you're getting embarrassed on your home field.
right.
So,
How
Yeah.
about the sun?
and and this happened on Jerry's birthday too.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? Like he's turning, I think he was 84, turned 80.
80.
Was it 82?
82. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. We'll ask the clubhouse's fact checker.
Right. We'll have Ponyo come back up here.
Yeah, Ponyo. How
She's
old
locked
is
back
Jerry?
out. I didn't realize my gate has a little lock on it that I didn't do.
Oh, dude, that's
But
a good.
Ponyo's welcome anytime. Just
He's
not right now.
She's always welcome on the
Yeah.
podcast. So, so yeah, I was on Jerry's birthday. I can't imagine. Have you had a birthday that bad before?
Thankfully, no.
Me neither. I mean,
But-
I think my only one would be like when I turned 11,
Oh.
because my birthday's on September 12th,
Oh.
and so that was
Yeah.
that one was a little bit weird. You know,
Well,
I
yeah.
don't really feel like celebrating anything.
No, that was probably a weird day. Like, did you still get cake?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I remember like being excited that my birthday was the next day, and then
Yeah.
like that happening in first grade, I think I was in, and I was like,
Like, even then, you
so-
at least had a concept of like, yeah, this might not be a
it
very
doesn't feel
celebratory
right to
time.
celebrate myself. Yeah, like
Oh,
so.
we might have to see if there is like a picture or something, or
I'll
maybe
ask-
if your parents remember.
I'll ask my mom. I guarantee
Yeah.
you, my mom remembers A, and B, if there is photo evidence
Yeah.
of whatever happened that birthday, she's got it. So
Wait,
Yeah.
what year were you born?
1990,
Oh, so you were in 3rd grade or 4th grade?
fourth grade, really?
Yeah. Because I was in 2nd grade.
How? See, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, since I have no kids, you have no kids, Ashley no kids.
No kids.
I like
that we know of.
That we know.
that we know
Well,
of, right?
I feel like I would.
How would you know though?
I don't know.
I feel like I would know.
Probably
but-
so.
Yeah, biology.
But I like, if I meet a kid or something, like I'm always like, how old are you? Or like, if you talk about how old a kid is, and
Yeah.
you're like, what are you capable of? Like, do you read? Do you know how to talk?
Yeah.
Are you still like, hey, watch this trick? And then it's just like a somersault. Like,
Yeah, doing a backflip.
yeah, like I don't. I've lost that like concept of.
Yeah.
So the worst thing in the world, is I work with that college football team,
Mm-hmm.
and some days I'm like, wait, what year were you born? And they tell you, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the other day I was like, I'm a decade older than you, and oh my God, I could be your mother.
It's a weird
Yeah.
thing when you start getting to that age.
Like there's some kids I'm just like, fuck, I could literally be your mother,
Yeah.
and it's the worst.
And you might be.
And I might be,
Right.
biology.
Well, check with the fact checker.
Yeah.
Speaking
Ponyo,
of
get back up here.
yeah, Ponyo, we need you. Speaking of the fact checker, let's talk a little bit about Smokey Rose on Friday.
My gosh, that
we
was
had
awesome.
a 4-hour remote with all of we had Your Dark Companion with obviously you and Ryan's in
Thank
the
you.
building. Our executive producer Becca was there, and then we had all of the Sunset Lounge in one area for 4 hours, and we just did rotating round tables,
yeah.
talking about whatever the hell we wanted or whatever came up. Like we even did a segment on Pete Stein. Who saw that coming?
That was, yeah, I'm not sure if a segment and a half on Pete Stein was, like, looking back, was the best hosting decision since I was technically leading that segment.
And it
which
was
also
partially
kinda
my
weird.
fault. It was partially my fault because he said the name Pete Stein.
Right.
And he worked with Reiner, and I didn't know that. And I
Yeah,
was
but he
like,
came up in the segment before, too.
"Oh, he did?
Yeah, so, like, me and Grego were sitting there, like, Rhines was off.
Okay."
And so we somehow got talking about that and, all that. But, yeah, that was a lot of Pete Stein talk. But we had 4 hours. And,
Yeah.
like, overall, though, like, that remote was awesome.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. Smokey Rose was a great host. Their whole team just like took great care of us. It was
Yeah.
great to meet Ziggy, the guys from the clubhouse.
Stephanie and Dennis and
Steph-
Brian. And
yeah, just meeting everybody and like, because we see the clips and
Mac.
stuff.
Mac Angle.
Oh yeah, and Mac Angle, and then Grego, like you said,
Yeah, Grego
came by
joined us
and hung out.
as our guest,
Yeah, and it
along
was
with 11 other people.
yeah, it was cool. But it was cool because like I'd never really talked to Grego before. And my time with the fan like kind of coincided with his end of his tenure with the fan because he left and then I like joined a month or two later.
Okay.
Because we were talking about it. He was like, well, when did you work? And I told him 2013. And he was like, oh, I got fired in April. And I was like, oh, I started working there in June.
Yeah.
And so I would always hear about him. And I've heard stories because obviously, what they created and what they did over at the ticket together. And I told him, he hated me telling him this. He's probably going to hate that I'm bringing it up right now. But I told him how I would hear him and Reiner in my dad's car growing up all the time.
Yeah.
Like hearing his voice talking to me in person, I was like, damn, I remember hearing this as a kid with that coming through my dad's speakers. And then sometimes I'd be like, all right, we can't listen to this segment. Or
Right,
we
talking
gotta-
about women's boobs at the Masters or
Yeah, yeah.
the Byron Nelson, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, but it was awesome. It was a great time. I hope we do more remotes like that.
Yeah, we gotta, like, that was a big thing. I probably need to stop telling everybody with Stolen Water about it, but we need anybody that is part of the Sunset Lounge crew, anytime Your Dark Companion or whoever, whichever shows have remotes,
Yeah.
as many of us need to be there as possible because, my gosh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was cool seeing, getting to talk to people, who subscribe on Patreon. That's always really cool. Like, and that's one thing that Grego was talking about is, he was talking about everything he didn't miss from radio, and then we had some people come up and like say, thanks for being here, or miss you on the airwaves, or, I remember when you said this, and when they walked off, he was like, I missed that part though.
Yes.
And I think that's the part that can't be overstated to y'all as the listeners and subscribers. It really does mean a lot to us because we know it's only $5 a month, but everybody works hard for their money, and the fact that you're contributing it towards supporting us means a whole lot to us. So
Yeah, and there's only so much time in any given day, and the
Right.
fact that people do spend their money to listen to us and hopefully get some enjoyment out of it and hopefully
Yeah.
have a good time. And yeah, but getting to meet them and getting to meet listeners in person, it's like, okay, it's real. It's not just, you almost wonder, like, sometimes, like, is this a bot?
right.
Is this,
right.
is anyone actually listening? And then, like, I know you've mentioned that, even just the, 2-3 stars games, including preseason,
Yeah.
People have been coming up to you and telling you they love what we're doing and
Yeah.
all that, where it's we still got room to grow. We still got things that we, can always improve on and all that. But it's been fun as hell reconnecting with a bunch of listeners and meeting some new ones too. Like, people that just kind of took a chance on us.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, we really appreciate the support and the love. It's like, for us, like, the Clubhouse, they were saying, I think they're in their 15th season or something.
Yeah.
Like, they were in and we are on episode number 10. They have more seasons together than we have episodes.
It's insane.
So, all the shows, have a varied level of tenure together and all that sort of thing. But I really, especially after the roundtables, hearing how well everybody meshed together, I know we got a really good thing going here with the Sunset Lounge and Stolen Water Media. So
it's exciting, just like, Stephanie, who's going to be doing 2 shows with Stolen Water. Like, that was the first time she'd really been on the air in any capacity, to my knowledge.
Okay. Like, she's used to recorded stuff? Or?
Like, I don't think she'd really done anything before. Like, she's just been in insurance and...
Yeah, no, they've never done anything.
They've never...
Her and her husband wanted to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's kind of how
and this is way
their
easier.
podcast started, was that they realized that it would just be another relationship book. You didn't really know if you could get people to read it or not. And not only that, but could you really fit everything that you wanted to into a book?
Yeah.
So instead, they decided to do a podcast, maybe a book later, to where they can discuss, like the what's your end game? Like, are you is this something that's really worth having that argument about? So I think what they're planning on doing, though, is that they're going to be like bringing in couples and letting them like talk about what's grating on their nerves.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
So it's not insurance.
No.
Well,
the other one's insurance. The What's Your End Game with Brian, her husband, that's like a relationship podcast. And then the Insurance Unhinged is for like the consumer to get a better understanding of their insurance.
Should you take out insurance on your relationship?
Yeah,
Ooh.
crossover. Does your relationship need an insurance policy?
Yeah.
Fun
It
fact,
might.
Did you know that if someone says that they will marry you and doesn't, you can sue them?
What?
Fun fact of the
Whoa.
day. That's my new fun fact.
I've been telling people that for years.
You can.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I need to lawyer up.
Guess I better get the ball rolling with Darcy then.
Yeah, no, I love those like little tidbits that you can find.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you can sue somebody if they don't marry you.
Oh, man. Thankfully, Darcy hasn't sued me yet, but I feel like that'll resolve itself soon.
That's good.
Yeah,
We love resolutions.
we do.
And we love it when the Stars start their new season.
Yeah, segue.
Finally. Preseason's over.
Dude,
Those were fun, but there's nothing like the home opener with the the victory green, the green carpet walk, and all the fans outside just handing stuff over to the players and letting them sign stuff. The vibes were immaculate on Saturday at the AAC. I got to DJ the green carpet for about 2.5 hours, I think, before the game. And it was just an incredible turnout. And obviously the game went super well too. Your Stars are 3-0 to start the season.
not bad.
They posted back-to-back shutouts on back-to-back nights with 2 different goalies for the first time in franchise history. It was just, I'm really excited. Like, whenever the preseason, you're kind of excited, and then we did the Victory Plus media party, and I'd see like the highlight tapes. I was starting to get chills, that hockey season was coming back. But when it finally happened on Saturday, and like the game on Saturday, the Stars won 3-0 against the Islanders, and the last goal was an empty net goal towards the end. In terms of play on the ice, it wasn't like the most flashy or the most exciting. There weren't a whole lot of big hits. I mean, these two teams aren't really rivals. I mean, obviously, it's not like playing Nashville, right?
Right.
So, but there was still this like you could feel this energy that was just like buzzing all game, just because they were back.
Yeah.
And, you could definitely tell that as excited as we are that Stars hockey is back, that all the fans, the Stars faithful that were in attendance were really excited as well.
No, it's been really fun. Like, I haven't gotten to get to a game yet, but, watching on Victory Plus, which has been great for me at least.
Did it go
like,
well?
It's been working. Like, I know a few people have had issues. I think it's just a matter of, like, they maybe just needed to re-download or something, but like, it's been working smooth for me, and just getting to watch and, tweet with all my friends again.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously got to know quite a few fans over the years, but just seeing, like you said, the excitement, the energy. Hockey fans are, bar none, the most passionate, the most insane fan bases. The Stars have an incredible fan base, and seeing just how excited everyone is. Like, it obviously always helps to have a good team, but even with a relatively shorter offseason, you could tell everybody was just ready for the team to come back. And I did want to ask, from your side of things, I got to work 7 home openers, and I think this would have been your 5th or 6th.
This was my 5th.
5th. So it's like, I know the anticipation, the prep, all that goes into it. You're already treating, doing all your normal game prep.
Right.
Then the extra game prep that goes into, there's longer intros for the team.
Yeah.
There's all these different things that are a little bit different than a normal game, plus your DJ and the green carpet. And where I think it's our friend, our A1 audio guy, Chris Iacone,
Yep.
he pretty much always says, like, it's once you get to that first, puck drop of the game, it's kind of like, you can breathe again.
Yeah.
Like, from your side, it's just go, 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 and then, okay, we can finally settle into some level of normalcy. There's still going to be, a little bit of elevated, anticipation throughout the game. I know that there's always going to be more, executives or former players potentially, or, just people associated with the team that maybe aren't at every single game.
Yeah.
That you hear, oh, this person's here, so, we got to act, we got to do this, this, and this, even though my philosophy is we should just kick ass every game, and, they'll be just happy to be there.
Right.
We shouldn't be, holding anything back for just in case, someone's here, but that's a whole other thing. But no, I'm just really glad the Stars are back, and getting to watch the game makes me want to get to a game even more. So I'm either hitting up you or our friend that has the really good seats, because I need to get to the game very, very soon.
Yeah, and it, like you were saying, it was chaos before the game for me. Like, my call time was 2 p.m. to set up outside for the victory, or for the green carpet, at 2:30 to get started at 3, I think, to start DJing, and I got there at 1, thinking that I was there way too early, and I still wasn't there quite early enough, just because you're just getting back in the swing of things. Like, during preseason, I didn't DJ the warm-ups live on the 101 stage, like I do for the 16-minute warm-up before the game. Just because I was like, I got to run to the other side of the AAC, which that's a whole other thing. Like, I feel like I should have a GoPro on, because like I'm like dodging people with nachos, like, and beers and stuff. Like, excuse me, because everybody on the concourse when they're walking in, like they have not a care in the world. Like,
right, they're not worried about the DJ running through and oh my god, I got to get back to the spot, to my booth, and
I have like 2 minutes to get over there,
right,
to the other side of the arena, in 2 minutes, and then on the way back. And so I'm just out there like juking people, like throwing spin moves, and just trying.
And then you probably also have people actually saying like, "Hey, Shippy," wanting to say hi. Or,
and I've had people like, I'm like, I cannot take a picture right now.
Yeah, meet me at the booth.
It's going to be very quiet when they run out or when they skate out if I am not over there very quickly.
Oh man!
So
I was going to say that definitely adds another element of pressure that I didn't like. I knew that you had a pretty quick turnaround, but
it's.
Because is it the same amount of time for the Mavs, or do you have a little bit more time?
So with the Mavericks, so I DJ on the 101 stage for Stars games because they have more lighting over there, and they put me up on the Jumbotron DJing as one of the shots, and then it's just a better look over there. Because they have it in the 112 and 113 section. They added it last year, like a panel where I can plug my DJ booth in there. So for Mavericks games, I just go right there, because during pregame, they're not putting me up on the Jumbotron. It's pretty much just graphics and stuff that go around. So that one, I just have to hop over one little railing and take about 10 steps, and I'm there. It's great.
Okay.
So it's just, and last season before they added that, Scott Davidson, thank you for doing that, by the way.
He's the wolf.
He is the wolf.
He's the fixer.
He had that put in to where if I wanted to, I could set it up right next to me. So last season, I was running to the other side of the arena for both teams. Actually, one time, my first time for the Mavericks doing it, I overshot it, and I did a whole lap around the AAC. And I barely got there in time to hit my next cue. And John was like, "Where were you?" He's like, "We're gonna need to work on your timing and how quickly you get over." I go, "Dude, I overshot the entrance." And like I remember peeking my head out and I looked around. I was like, "Oh, this is not."
Yeah, this
like
doesn't look right.
I see all these Mavs employees like on the back wall, and they're looking at me like, "What is he doing over here?" And I'm looking at them like, "What are y'all doing over here?" Thinking that my booth was right there.
Yeah, get out of the way, bosses.
Yeah, and my shins were burning by the time I got, because I can't really run through there because you got little kids walking around and stuff. And
Yeah, you can't just be like.
and I try to say like,
and-
"Excuse me, on your left," like I'm a bicyclist, like on your left, on your right, like please excuse me, I'm not a jerk, I promise. I just really got to get over to the other side of the American Airlines Center right now.
Yeah, those damn kids don't really care about all that.
Oh no, and it's always when I have the least amount of time that I get stuck behind like the slowest people.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the people that just kind of stop in the middle of the concourse and like looking up
And
at
they're trying to
things
decide
and-
what they want to get. And
Yeah.
there's just like a big group of them that are all just like kind of just gathered there. And you're just like, man, can I please just, so I've started running like kind of closer to where the lines are.
Smart.
So
yeah.
I can go through and I'm just like, hey, sorry, I just got to get right through. Like, I'm not cutting you, but I just got to.
Right. And there's actually, it's less dense in that spot too. I kind of figured that out myself. I didn't think that would be advice that would work for you, or I just didn't think to give you that advice.
Yeah.
But no, it definitely makes more sense to just cut through the concession lines. But
Yeah.
if you are in a concession line and you see Shippy, get out of the way because he will run over you.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah.
I got places to be.
He's important.
Eh,
You're half of the audio video side of things.
that is true.
That's what that was the philosophy I always heard. So
And
you're very important.
there's always music playing.
Right.
That's what they told me. Like, hey, if everything fails, the Jumbotron goes down, at least there's going to be music. So definitely stay out of my way
Yeah.
if you see me. But be nice about it. You know?
Right.
I'm just trying to get to where I need to be.
But DJs are the real heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So excited that the Stars are back.
Yes. We love you, Otter. We love you, Casey DeSmith.
Dude, that's
DeSmith? DeSmith?
the Smith.
Okay.
So I'm going to start playing the Smiths for him.
I love it.
So that was fun too, like coming up with the different stuff for the new
Yeah.
players or the new guys. Like we got Maverick Bork coming up. I think he's supposed to play
Ah.
on Tuesday against the Sharks. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but yeah, it's
You got some. Yeah, what is damn it, the Mavericks intro song,
Eminence Front
Eminence Front,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. I'm sure.
or Top Gun.
Yes, you're ahead of this.
I haven't. I won't, because actually I do want to talk about this because
Casey and the Sunshine Band for Casey DeSmith.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Harpo would love that anyway.
He would love that. No, like so one thing that I brought to this season that I didn't do last season was when a guy for the Stars gets out of the penalty box,
Yeah.
I play the drop of Eminem saying, "Guess who's back?"
Oh, nice.
And so I did that at the home opener, and apparently all the fans, and keep doing this, if you're in the crowd, they yell back again. But then against the Kraken, the Stars took like 6 penalties or something. They called them for like 6, and Marchment got 2 of them. And so people were like, "Man, you got to get the back again in case in case somebody takes multiple penalties." Because I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "It's a good." And people, I had fans come up to me afterwards, like, "Dude, we love it. Like, we love the new." Because some places will play like the Mario mushroom sound where it's like, I can't read
the one up.
the one up. You know what it sounds like, and people, I was trying to come up with like, I want to do that, but I don't want to do that. Like,
Right.
there's
No, you
multiple-
always got to find a different wrinkle. Like, there's only so many sounds. There's only so many things that people get the reference of. Believe me, I definitely got into the weeds with that, at times trying to be too different.
yeah,
And, trying to ride that line of being unique and creative while also not being, derivative or whatever, or just being like, well, this team did that, so I'm stealing it and doing it.
yeah,
Like, find some different way of doing it.
yeah.
So I love that, it's one of those that it also kind of almost feels obvious, and I'm sure you might not be the first hockey DJ to use that, but I'm not aware of one.
Yeah,
And
I don't-
so that's where it's like, look, when you're in the arena, it's also who cares too much about if it's been done elsewhere, but if you,
I
are
feel
able
like
to bring
Detroit's
it in,
DJ should have thought of it.
and maybe they have.
Maybe they
we
have.
haven't heard it, but
Yeah.
regardless, you're still the best.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now that I'm not doing it.
Now that he's not doing it, of course.
But no, man, that's awesome. Like, coming up with the different little things, especially like when you have the off season to really work through stuff. But then, you also do have a cheat code. I've always said, like, having Jeff K there, with his music knowledge, like, I'm sure with you too, with you as well, he would just throughout a game just randomly throw in something like on the headset of like, and it wouldn't even, be something that he seriously expected me or you to actually do.
Yeah.
But it would just be like, hey, there's this song from the 80s and blah, 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 and it's got this little line, and, that sounds like this player's name or something like that, where it's like, how do you do that?
No, he does, like, he'll just give me these ideas, and when you're in the game, you don't have really time to make a note. Like,
yeah.
My mental notes, they'll be there, but, like, during a game, I forget, like, it's so busy, like, all the thinking and everything, that by the end of the game, you're just mentally beat, where you're just like, I just want to go to sleep, really.
Yeah.
And so it is great, though, because he will say stuff, and I'm like, dang it, I need to write that down, but I don't really have time. Like, how do I write it down? So I try my best to remember it. He's actually the one that had the idea about the Smiths for DeSmith.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was a possibility.
He had that idea, and then there was a guy that was playing for the preseason that he wanted me to play Star Wars music for, because his last name was impossible to say.
Oh.
But I was like, dude, it's preseason.
And that's where, like I said, some of the stuff he'll throw out there just kind of to make us laugh or him laugh.
Yeah, and it was great. It was funny.
Yeah, but it's also just, like I said, it's so damn impressive that he is able to do that.
Yeah.
And, like me and Shippy had him on Your Dark Companion a couple weeks ago, and just the music knowledge he has, it's so versatile, and, I think you and I have pretty decent music knowledge.
Yeah.
And all that, but he is just so unique in that aspect of just how deep the catalog is. It's not just knowing the hits, of a band. Like, that's, a strength or whatever you would call it of mine, where I at least have heard, most songs and all that, but, like, he's, B-sides, covers, like, live versions of stuff, and it's insane.
No, it's like, sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm just like, my eyes, like, glaze over at a certain point, because I'm just like, dude, how, like, and it's all stuff from, like, before our time, where it's,
Sure.
and it's like, to do, and it's a great resource to have, because it helps me satisfy that part of the crowd, right? Like,
Yeah, you're always...
I'll be like, oh, okay, like, I'll play this fits, like, his demographic, like, I'm not sure exactly how much older he is than me.
Very.
But I know.
But he's about 20 years older than me, so I think he's mid to late 50s.
Okay. And
because I don't want to say his actual age, just in case I'm wrong or he gets mad at me for saying it.
Are you saying Jeff K?
Jeff K?
Yeah. Who are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Jeff K. He's got to be like mid 50s. He's got a granddaughter.
Yeah, he's at least 20 years older than me.
I went to elementary school with his daughter.
I know, that's the crazy.
Like,
that's
I
crazy.
remember in, like, 4th grade, back when I guess I had that terrible birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, like, seeing his daughter Marcel. She always had all this Dallas Star stuff, and I was like, "Where do you get this?" She's like, "Oh, my dad works for the Stars." I remember, like, man, that'd be cool. I wish I worked for the Stars, and now I work with him.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And now she's got a baby.
Now she does have a baby, and
that we know of.
Jeff K. That we do know of, and Jeff K. is a grandfather.
That is really weird to think about.
Fact check that.
Yeah. Ponyo.
Also, fact check this. I heard that Grubes got a mystery injury.
Yeah, I'm getting old, and thankfully it's feeling better, but I somehow managed to pull a muscle in my rib cage, or I'm assuming it's a muscle, because I don't think it can pull fat. But, yeah, it did not feel good yesterday when all of a sudden, like, I was trying to reach for something and then just felt the, ah!
Yeah.
And I don't really know what to do with this story other than just say I probably need to start doing yoga or something.
Maybe stretch.
Yeah. Like,
my girlfriend always wants me to stretch, but I hate it. It hurts.
I know.
I'm not flexible at all.
Yeah, but I want to get more bendy.
You do?
Yeah. Just for all sorts of reasons.
Like what? Are you going to join the Olympics?
Let's go to the next story.
Do you still like to drink?
I had a fireball shot on Friday.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Becca got him for us. I declined because I am doing Sober October.
I was going to say, I was very impressed and proud that you stuck with it, even though, none
could've
of us would have
easily-
judged. And,
Yeah.
it's the principle of the thing. I respect it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like, I mean, I know I would have been fine if I took a shot. It
Right.
wouldn't have been an issue, but
it's not like you would have had to, start over or whatever.
right,
It's
or
just-
I wouldn't have felt bad about myself or anything, but it's like I've always heard about these other people doing a month of no alcohol, and I've never done it before. And I'm just like, I kind of want to do it because I've always had this thought, like, man, if I ever quit drinking, it would really be over for all you hoes. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
Go ahead.
no, it's like, that's the whole saying where it's like,
Oh.
if this happens, it's over
Oh.
for you hoes. Like, and I was like, man, if I ever stop like being hungover, like this morning,
Yeah.
like I had a game, I had back-to-back games this weekend.
And a DJ gig.
And a DJ gig yesterday from 10 to 1, so I had to be up at 8 a.m. yesterday, plus a game afterwards. And then we're up early this morning to record the podcast. If I would have been drinking right now or during this time, there's a good chance I would not be here.
No,
You
and
I would have been here eventually.
you would have showed up eventually, but me and Ashley probably would have been on the way to Shoopy's.
Right, so I would have been by
We
myself.
got another show to do.
I would have just had to somehow work all of Ashley's stuff, get Ponyo in this chair to fact check whatever I had to say.
Oh, she would fact check
I would
your
have
ass.
loved to see that.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think we should leave him right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you want? No, don't leave me. I'll miss you guys.
You wouldn't miss us that much.
We'd miss you too.
I think
Yeah.
I would.
But I think you'd be fine.
But
It's, like, especially since I moved in with Darcy and her son, about a month and a half ago. I think that fireball shot was the first thing I'd done. And,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, like, cool.
yeah, and like I even the last few months, like over the summer, really, even I haven't been drinking a whole lot. Like I've really cut back a ton. I just I watch a lot of movies and TV shows now. And just kind of hang out. Because I found out like I'm really more of a social drinker.
Yeah.
Like when I'd go out and hang out with friends or whatever and just kind of move around, it would help me just kind of loosen up.
yeah.
'Cause
And
otherwise,
then,
I would just sit there and just I'm like I don't really have a lot to say. Like unless I'm like doing a podcast like now, I'm a pretty quiet person depending on the setting that we're in or depending on how comfortable I am with all the people. Like kind of determines and the amount of people honestly kind of determines how much I do or don't talk.
Isn't
Yeah.
it interesting that the older you get, the less cool things are? Like getting drunk all the time.
Right?
it also just hurts more. Again, like, I think I'm
Oh,
6 or 7
yeah.
years older than both of y'all. Or 15, Ashley.
Yeah, 15.
But yeah, like everything hurts more, the next day. And it's just, you kind of start to realize, man, there's a lot more hours in the day when you're not hungover for a lot of them. And, like I was kind of saying with moving in with Darcy and her son, she's getting up early to get him to school and then she's off to work. And so it's like most of the time I'm waking up around when they are, like 6:30. I might be able to stay in bed till 7:30 or 8, but then it's just like I don't go back to sleep usually. So it's like, well, might as well get up and, go take Ponyo for a walk or just try to do something reasonably productive or,
And the older we are, the more responsibilities we have.
right.
Yeah.
The last time I got drunk was several years ago, and I had like a 4.5 day hangover.
I believe it.
The worst.
Did you do what Cardi B did and afterwards said, I'm never drinking again?
No, like the older we get, it's just like that stuff was so stupid. Why did I do it? I mean, granted, it was fun when I did it, but like it's not even that fun.
But like you said, when you have less responsibilities, when you have, it's just kind of like, well, this is what everybody else my age is doing. And
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I gotta work. I have a business. I gotta I gotta go take a kid to school. I gotta go take my dog out. Like,
yeah.
you cannot do that hungover. Like, there's nothing
No.
you can tell me that you could do that hungover.
It hurts too damn
easily.
much.
Yeah, it does hurt pretty bad. Like, I think I can't even remember my last hangover, honestly, because I've gotten to the point now where I'm like y'all, where it's like I'll have a drink or two and then like I'll be good after that. Like I'm able to say no now.
It's nice.
Well,
and it's also, kind of somewhat related to what Ashley was saying, like knowing that you can take your car somewhere and
right, and
you can leave a lot easier. Like obviously now we do have Uber, Lyft, whatever, but it's, that costs money. You're, at the mercy of someone else's timing potentially,
and driving capability.
Right. And, how much they want to talk to you or whatever.
God,
And
that's
so,
the worst.
there is having that extra freedom of being like, all right, I'm
ready to go.
I've had a drink, one drink. I've drank my water. I'm just going to get in my car and go home, and no one is in danger. I'm not in danger, and I'm going to wake up in a bed that I know that I'm meant to be in.
Yes.
It's just, it changes so much the older you get. I was talking to a friend this morning who literally, we talked about this. He was literally drunk at 8:30 this morning. And it was just one of those like, why? Really, why?
Well, it may be because he has a higher IQ.
Whoa.
UT Southwest study explores link between high school IQ and alcohol use. So maybe when we were younger, we liked drinking because we were smarter.
Yeah. But then the drinking potentially makes you dumber.
It does.
Now, here's my next question. Do we know our IQs?
Nope.
I think we should take
Off
an
the charts.
IQ test one day.
Man, I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, and we talked about this before, how I'll Google a lot of stuff that I learned in high school or college or earlier, because I'm like, I think that was right, but like, it's been so long, I just need a little reminder if that's still the case. And I think that's where the alcohol use probably impacted what was potentially a higher IQ.
Yeah,
before.
things get blurred a little bit.
But no, these researchers found that for every 1 point increase in IQ, there was a corresponding 1.6% increase in the likelihood that respondents reported moderate or heavy alcohol use.
Damn.
So, and it says here that it's potentially because these drinking habits are because higher IQ may lead to stressful jobs or more opportunities for social drinking among high earners.
That makes sense.
So
I actually heard that people with higher IQs tend to move, this sounds so bad when I say it, but tend to move towards things to like suppress their brain function, because their brain's moving and their brain is using so much more, like doing so much more, computing so much more, that it actually like is just really hard for them. I had a friend whose son passed away because he was a fentanyl user, but it was because he had like an IQ of like 180. He was brilliant, but it just like he couldn't handle the stress of the everyday life.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird because when I was a little kid, like I used to always remember everything, like, and other people just wouldn't remember the same stuff that I remember when I was a little kid, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I didn't know if I was going crazy, and I don't know if it's the higher IQ thing, but I feel like, I mean, my mind is always going. Like, going to sleep for me takes forever, and like, I don't know my IQ test, but I was a national merit semifinalist. Like,
damn.
And I did like different college tours and stuff like that, and I always wondered if that played a part in me drinking, because like when I'd go out and be sober or not really drunk, my mind would just be going crazy when everybody else is just relaxing, like chilling, kind of like what you were just talking about, where it's like you're just like I wish my brain would turn off sometimes, where I could just hang out like. And when I see my cat and it's just hanging out like with not a care in the world, I was like, what's that like?
Yeah, imagine not having that stress.
Imagine not having that stress. So, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, you know? You just kind of want to, like, I'd always, like, kind of want to be dumber, you know? It's more fun to act dumb.
No, it definitely is.
You know what I mean?
Look where it got me. Got me in front of a microphone somehow.
Yeah, it got you in front of a microphone. And you know where else alcohol could get you?
Where?
In jail because of a DUI on a Barbie little, what do you even call that?
What is it? Is it Hot Wheels?
A Hot Wheel,
Power
Wheels. A Power Wheels Jeep DUI. This isn't a Florida man. This is an Indiana man. So he was caught operating a Power Wheels Jeep while under the influence. They later figured out that not only was he hammered, but he was also on meth.
Oh.
So don't do meth. I didn't think we had to bring that up, but if you're in Indiana, which actually I went to Missouri, and that's apparently like the meth capital of, I'm not sure the world, but or at least was like 10 years ago.
I think that can be the meth capital of the world.
There was a Walmart that was caught with like an underground meth lab in it while I was in college.
Was it run by the pharmacist?
I don't know.
I think that's a
or just someone that owned a chicken restaurant.
Yeah, Gus Fring. Yeah, Gus Fring made his way to University of Missouri. He flunked out, and the whole Walmart meth lab didn't help.
If you can get a DUI or DWI for riding a bicycle, you can totally get it for operating Power Wheels.
Yeah, and the thing's got a motor type thing.
I mean, you could be sitting in your car with your car on and get a DUI.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
You have to have the keys have to be in the back seat.
Or out of the ignition, I thought, right?
Well, but
Like
think about this now.
it's
though.
like out of arm's reach or something at the
yeah, but
least.
people nowadays can turn their car on as long as the key's in the car.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So
So you got to throw your keys in the gutter.
Yeah.
pretty much,
And
don't
then
have
you-
your key on you. Put
and
your
then-
key in the mailbox of the house you're sleeping at.
Yeah, I don't...
Or just don't get in the car when you're drunk
That's a good
if
point.
it's yours.
Even if it's a Power
If you
Wheels
drove it.
toy.
Yeah.
This guy, 51 years old, John McKee, and he was driving this around with no lights or reflectors, and it was difficult to see.
Yeah, they're just stickers.
Yeah. So if you or your kids have a Power Toy Wheel Jeep, don't drink and drive.
Yeah. Do not let your kids drink and get behind the wheel of a Barbie car.
I know we'd sort of mentioned it for a second about Cardi B, but she said that she wasn't drinking anymore after her 32nd birthday.
People have done that.
But, I feel like in this case, it's one of those things where, you get super drunk, you're really hungover, and then you wake up, you say, I'm never drinking again, and then, the next weekend, you're drinking again.
I've done that before.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I used to have a hoodie that said never drinking again, and I would wear it when I would go out and drink.
Nice.
So I guess we'll see if Cardi B follows up on that or not, if she stays sober. She's clearly not doing a sober October, but I understand it was her birthday.
Yeah,
Like,
but maybe it was otherwise. Or maybe she heard about Sober October when she woke up the next morning. She's like, oh, I didn't know this existed, so now I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Oh,
Probably
maybe.
not.
Maybe she's doing sober half October. It's not too late.
Yeah, it's
You've
still
got
October.
17 days, Cardi B, if you're
Yeah.
listening, which you probably are.
Well, yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about resting bitch face, or do you want to talk about these student driver tickets or stickers? I mean,
Okay, I do think the student driver tickets is maybe not more relevant, but especially since I moved to the area that I'm in now, which is North Dallas. Like I was living down near the AAC before. For whatever reason, I feel like I'm seeing so many more student driver stickers on cars,
yeah.
like so many more, that it's clearly not all student drivers. And so I think the theory is it's either people that are trying to, get other people to avoid their cars just so they feel safer.
Or let them over if they make a mistake.
Right. Or that they're just that bad of drivers that they know that they need a little bit of assistance or something to keep people from hitting other cars or something. But it's just been a really weird thing seeing how many more of those I've been noticing. And it's like I found a Reddit post from a year ago
Yeah.
in the Dallas subreddit saying, what's up with all these student driver stickers? So I know it's been going on, but I'm still just very shocked by how many more I'm noticing.
And I've seen a couple of the last maybe month, last couple months, but I just figured it's because school got going back up again. So when you see these stickers, do you look at the driver and you're like, you're not a student?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll just be like one dude or woman in the car, just driving along, like going off to work or whatever.
So
And
when we were going to Smoky Rose the other day,
Mhm.
I'm driving down 12, and you know how there's a ton of lights right there.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm driving down that one, and this one person is driving on the left-hand side. I'm like, okay, I know this is still, but they're going super slow. And then I looked up, and I'm like, okay, student driver. And then I look in, and I'm like, that's not a freaking student. Unless this isn't some old lady trying to or she's not old, she's in her mid-50s, maybe mid-40s, mid-50s. I'm like, unless this is somebody trying to get their license again, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
yeah,
Huh.
it's
But
a really
I've
weird
seen,
thing.
like
So
10 of them lately. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that's, my.
and and the baby on board stickers as well.
Oh, I have seen a.
like those have
think we should
increased.
all-
It doesn't.
Can we do a social experiment where we just put them on the back of the car just to see?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
don't
like
have
social
one.
experiments.
It
Yeah.
might curse us all, and we're all about to have kids this next year. But let's just
I have seen the baby on board a lot.
Yeah.
That one I feel like is very popular.
like it's had a resurgence. I remember those were really popular when I was a kid. And then
Yeah.
it feels like you still see one every now and then, and now all of a sudden it's exploded again.
Maybe it's maybe those student drivers just forgot to take their student driver sticker off.
I was
going
gonna
to
say it's those things probably stick pretty well.
I have some stickers from old apartments, like on my back window. I have my sticker from the reserve at in Columbia, Missouri from 2010.
Good Lord.
I forgot about it until right now.
That's hilarious. We'll keep it on there.
I mean, I'm going to.
You never know.
You never know. I did wear a different outfit this week.
I think
I wore
it's
the same hat.
Okay.
I really like this hat,
I know.
but I wore a different shirt.
I did notice the different shirt. I was very proud of you.
Thanks.
Real quick on that hat. What is that hat? Is that just like a DJ hat or is it a Mavs hat?
It's the Mavs City Edition from last year. The God, I wish
it
I
looks
remember.
like an audio wave.
It is. So it's because of Leon Bridges, his collaboration with the Mavericks.
Okay, cool.
It's like something soul in the city or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. I love this hat.
I'm like, that hat is so cool and like so perfect for you two.
That's why I wear it. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's Mavs related, but it's not like just a Mavs logo. You know, it's like
It's sharp.
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
We did.
10 episodes in the books. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thanks for subscribing to the Sunset Lounge on Patreon, a Stolen Water Media production. Yeah, had a lot of fun. Looking forward to next week. And don't injure yourself out there. And good luck to everyone.
Is a Stolen Water Media presentation.